Make a motion to accept the news.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to financial report.
So I'll go in since Chuck isn't here. So under the P&L for August, we have for other income, $2,833.50. Under our total interest earned on our investments, so for the unrealized gains, it's $41,782. Investment account is $9,222, so we have a total of $47,998.44. For our gross profit of $70,441.89. Then as all those expenses, our total expenses was $24,331.25 for a net income of $46,110.64. For our balance sheet, total bank accounts $210,000. We should have some loan closings coming up. We are waiting on an appraisal for one, so that will be going down. Our total accounts receivable is a little under $6 million. Other current assets, 3.4, for our total current assets of $9.6 million. With our total assets of $9.9. Then we have our long-term liabilities. So our lease liability is for our office space, which is $279,648, which brings our total liability to $279,000. Our total equity is $9.6 million, for a total of equities and liabilities and equity of $9.9. You want me to move right to the customer loan report? Sure. Okay. So for the customer loan report, I feel like it's very similar to what it has been the past few months. Number 4, is paying it down. He just tends to stay about 60 days past due. Number 14, he's paid his loan from $10,000 to $4,200. He does stay in contact with us. It is just going to be a work in progress. Number 20, we are still working on contact information for him. Then 24 and 25 is the same owner. We have reached, he's out of the country right now, so we'll be reaching out to his son. 39, she's on auto payment, so we receive them monthly. 40, we are still trying to contact her. 41, this one is not showing past due, it should be. I reached out to Peter about this one. She moved to Texas. We have not received a payment since April. When after speaking with Peter, he stated we could sue them here in New York and have her served in Texas. If she does not reply to the lawsuit, we can take a judgment by default. And upon the default, we can hire a Texas attorney to domesticate the judgment in Texas. If she owns any real property in Texas, it would be a lien against the property.
It's the one, refresh my memory,
What was the date? It was, she did daycare.
No,
Yeah.
she did a
Oh, no,
counseling.
tutoring.
Yeah, tutoring, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
did we have contact with her before she left? Did she agree to, like, she was gonna, and then she's just stopped? Yeah.
And as you see, her balance isn't.
Yeah, no.
Less
If
than
we pursue
The
her,
thing is, do you want to spend,
right, if we pursue her, what do we spend in to pursue her? I mean,
if you have,
It sounds pretty lengthy, but that was my concern too, is what is the cost
or
of
an
it?
attorney.
Is this not a 41 we're talking about?
yeah.
But am I looking at the right one? This is correct?
Yes, it's incorrect,
Oh, okay, sorry.
because we were working, originally it was correct, we were in contact with her, we were doing a workout, we were attempting to do a workout, and then it never happened, so I just kept it.
Okay,
changed
sorry, I
it.
didn't,
No, it's okay.
I was trying to get a loaded here, I want to make sure I know it's not.
Yeah, I guess we need to see what an estimate's gonna be from the legal side before we try to pursue this small balance. We can spend more on costs than we would benefit of
Yeah,
recovery.
if you recover, you know.
Right.
So that is it for the past due, so customer loan report.
My question on the report, are the loans coming Pragmatic, is that the one we're waiting for the appraisal on?
Yeah, and Don Kuhn has been, it's been ordered, he's been in contact with him. I don't know if it's on schedule.
Okay. And the Globe and 242, what's the anticipated timeline we're looking at for?
So the Globe should be closing this Friday. But we are paying out completion, so it should be,
So we're into next year for that.
yeah, so it'd be like February, March-ish
Okay.
is
What
from my
about
opinion.
what about 242?
That I don't have a timeline for. It has been approved by all the agencies.
Okay. So we're gonna just time those with, I'm assuming Sarah?
Yeah, so I've been keeping in the loop of what we have in our checking, what we have coming up. So,
Is there a motion to accept the two reports?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Moving on to committee reports. Do you have any committee reports? No. New business, 2025 proposed budget.
alright, so everyone has a copy of the budget. Does anyone have any questions on the budget?
Well, you're gonna plug in the line for board compensation.
For what?
The board compensation.
Maybe you don't want to have,
They might yell at us
they might
about
say much with that.
So just to go over it, the interest on loans, we keep very a conservative 3.75% return. Like for this year, as of right now, we are already like 100,000 over it. Payroll, we do have an increase, we are showing in payroll, and that's sitting there in case we decide we needed to hire someone else, or I've also thought about like maybe we should do some type of internship program. So I just wanted it in the budget in case that's something we do decide to do. I think big changes. There is more in the advertising and marketing for this year, just so that's more of a focus going forward. Because on a standpoint as far as like growing, I know one thing we've always talked about is like what are our plans in the future, and as far as growing with a two-person team, I don't see where we can grow more as far as our loans. We would definitely need to expand upon and at least have another employee if we were to do that, just because of the workload of additional loans.
Do we need to make a motion to accept the proposed budget?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions, or would anyone like to make a motion to accept the proposed budget?
I just noticing some changes in the budget. I didn't know if you had specific thoughts on them. You had the, like the furniture, looks like it's 5,000, that's office equipment, I guess it is up to 11,000, is there a specific thing on it?
So our filing cabinets are all pretty old, and they don't always open for us when we're trying to file that. So that's a big thing. Also, when we moved the desk that she's utilizing now, we had to take a piece out of it to make it fit in the space. However, that makes it so where you constantly are smashing your knee off of that. So she definitely needs new office furniture. So that's where most of that is for. I didn't realize how expensive filing cabinets were either. They're like $1,300 a filing cabinet. And we, I think, like 3 of them, so.
Okay, and then also travel and
Training.
advertising. Yeah, travel and training.
Yep, so traveling training is just all of the additional things coming up where in the past we haven't, Don's been here, so he hasn't had to do this training where I feel that I'm going to really need to participate in those. And the advertising and marketing is just, that's a huge focus of what we were trying to start doing. Is advertising and marketing our businesses and ourselves in general. Getting the word out there who we are. Because who knows who we are?
Certainly makes sense, travel and training.
Yeah, it's something we just haven't had in the past, and,
Because Don's super smart.
yeah, and he's been here for a long time.
Been there, done that.
He doesn't need all this training.
Don teaches the classes. I mean, I'll might move the proposed budget.
Second. Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Old business, 223 JDY's update.
So I did send it out to everybody, there's a notice for sale. I did let them know the address they have listed for the county courthouse is incorrect on there, but it's going,
Wasn't a notice for sale, was it?
Foreclosure.
foreclosure, yeah, they,
Okay.
again, that's a
All right.
notice for sale on there, but you're right.
That's all right. Somebody mentioned to me that they said it was being sold. I said, oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
well, it does say notice for sale on here, so.
That's all right.
But that will be on October 23rd. We do have, we plan on going, but Peter will also be present during that. I don't have any updates besides that.
Okay, is there anything else for old business?
I mean, on that, if it goes to foreclosure, that's the last communication you had with the bank is what you put there. And we wrote that off how long ago? 4 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'll happen before we meet again.
Uh,
Do we?
Well, no.
No, we have a,
No, we have a meeting
It'll be after.
after our next board meeting.
yeah, the 16th is our next board meeting,
And that date on that was what,
October 23rd.
27 week later.
So do we have a strategy in mind, or do we want to discuss that further?
Yeah, you can discuss it, the only strategy would be bid the bank's debt plus ours, with no plan, with no developer, no
Right.
Because we don't have a developer interested.
Well, do we have confidence the bank's gonna, they setting a,
I'm sure they're gonna set them bid, what they're owed.
Okay, so we're gonna communicate that.
And so,
I guess I-
do we get what we were owed, or only if we buy the bank out?
Yeah.
Correct.
So, come up with
And is there a possibility of negotiating with the bank on?
we've been down that road, right?
another, down that road, they wanted their full amount.
So Peter's gotta go, we gotta be prepared, I would think, if they don't set a minimum bid, then are we gonna give consideration to, no, we wouldn't want somebody to pick it up for $50,000.
Right.
Right.
So we might need to have some dialogue as a collective group to say, where do we want, what do we see as an opportunity to get in there? Challenge is, we've already got a pretty good piece of money out on the table on it, so anything we do is gonna be additional funds out.
Yeah, with, yeah. My opinion, are taking on the bank's liability.
Well, if they don't put a minimum bid, we can get it
Yeah.
for a nominal cost. I mean, then we protected the opportunity to collect our loss there.
Or then we,
Yeah, then we would have control of it, we could sell it, or,
right.
At least get your money out of it.
yeah.
Problem is they would try and sell it for
Right.
3 years with no
No interest.
interest. I mean, that's the thing, it's got a track record of
No, I understand. I'm just thinking, again, I don't know the city's long-term plans, but, there's a 3-story building that could be repurposed, maybe not today, but some point into the future. We probably need to sit around the table and involve some folks at the city to see, I don't know what they need for additional office space 5, 10, 20 years from now, but that's a pretty decent site for them, or somebody of that nature. And I don't know if we're looking to locate office space in Watertown, we want to be prepared in case Key Bank doesn't put a minimum. I think it just recently was appraised, they had it appraised recently. That I'm familiar with, they had an inspector in there recently. I know some of the feedback back to the bank wasn't favorable, not from a structure standpoint, but just aesthetics and activity going on around the building. So they may be interested just to take the liability off their back.
So that's gonna be up to the board as to what type of exposure you want to have.
Want to take on that, yeah. I agree with that, but I think we should have some plan in place so when Peter goes, he knows, really what the board's looking to do there.
I mean, it'd just be something that if we don't want it 3 years from now and be like, we missed that opportunity for whatever.
Well, and even if we can get it for a nominal amount of expense today for the board, we might apply for a grant over the next year or two and try to develop some type of action there.
Don't we need something more concrete in terms of the condition of the building and the value of the building before we can make that decision?
Can we get a copy of the appraisal?
Then take it to the bank, and they'll share it with us.
I mean, at this point, we're out.
Right.
We've already,
Right, we've written it off.
so what was our total? 300,000?
220-ish.
Plus.
220,000.
220 plus. So you're close, your number probably at the end of the day, all in aggravation, time, expense.
Right.
Mhm.
And the bank is in for 400?
I think that's the balance left on them, right, isn't it, 400?
Close to it.
Yeah.
So if it is sold, we only collect, if ever, do we collect anything above the bank being paid off first, correct? Or not necessarily?
Well, if we go to foreclosure and we get it out of foreclosure.
Right, but I'm
we
saying,
went back for
so
20
imagine
grand.
a private individual
Buy it.
bids and buys it,
Right,
and they win.
we get nothing.
If they sell it for 600, we still.
We get
don't
nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but once it completes foreclosure, whoever walks away from the courthouse with that, all the liens are eliminated for them.
Wiped out, not paid back.
Sorry?
Wiped out, not paid back.
Correct.
Wiped out, yes.
Correct.
But chances of somebody coming in
Right,
and bidding over Key Bank's
Yeah,
up
no, I-
something are
right,
not just.
It's not existent.
right, no, I know that. Well, we think.
Right. The only way to do that for us is have confidence somebody's gonna bid greater than 400 and 300. And we put a bid for 700 and they say we'll take it for 7.25. Now we've,
And if they don't put a minimum bid, then anyone,
could get
including
it,
the current owner,
could,
could
correct.
bid
And
and
buy,
now,
right, bid it out.
now, they get it for $50,000, now they own it and they don't owe you.
They don't have any liens on there anymore.
Right. Yeah, I think we should discuss, maybe, I don't know, if it's better to have like a committee meeting or something, I don't know.
Probably should. I would say should, if that's the intent.
Just to have some plan. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta get comfortable with something. I would hate to see somebody walk in for $50,000 and walk away with
Walk
it.
away and then-
Right, and that's the thing, that we can't really control.
Right.
Anyone could own it, and that happened, we've seen that happen many times. We get a building that someone just from afar
Mhm.
owns and they don't do anything with it. And then it's even harder to
Right.
get sort of control or have any impact on, but it's a lot of money too.
So what committee would meet on this? Or is it
Maybe
to
a
be
special
determined?
committee, I don't know.
Committee?
Probably the finance committee.
That's what I would say, finance, which is
Who's on that?
you, Chuck, and Dawn.
Yeah.
So we can do that, we can schedule one.
And I mean, I suppose we could open it up to other members of the board. I mean, you bring value, Steve, from various perspectives.
Just remember though, if you have a quorum, it's public,
Public, yeah.
so.
Yeah, because the finance/audit committee is.
But if you're discussing the sale, the purchase of real
You can
estate.
go into executive
Right,
session,
yeah.
you just have to announce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you and Mike might want to be involved in that dialogue as well.
Right, the
Yeah,
city.
Yeah, city manager.
yeah, and true,
Right.
true.
What's the date that this is happening?
Well, we haven't said it
Well,
yet.
no, I mean,
The
auction.
October 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we always thought about repurposing commercial space there, but maybe there's a future better use for it down the road. We were thinking of a way just to try to recover our loss into it. We now may be a catalyst for development.
Right.
Okay, so we will, I guess in that case, work to set up a separate committee meeting on this.
And then unrelated, just a reminder that Chuck is coming off of our board at the end of the year, so we have to schedule a nominating committee in the next month or so to talk about his replacement. And then we will need to schedule a governance committee meeting for November to review policies and procedures, just so those people are keeping that in mind for those. I can't think off the top of my head who's on those committees.
Chuck's replacement has to come from the banking community.
Yeah.
He's already fulfilled both
Yes.
2 years, or 2 terms.
And he's in the city of Watertown.
I mean,
That's
he has somebody in mind,
Oh, yeah.
but it's up to the committee to.
Yeah, that's okay, we probably don't want anybody anyway. Because it's gotta be a commercial lender within the city of
Well, we
Watertown.
actually changed it to banker,
Okay.
Yeah.
not strictly commercial, but it's obviously beneficial to have a
Mhm.
commercial lender
Yeah. Okay.
on board, so. They're becoming extinct.
I was gonna say, do we know, how many do we know about?
Right, that's what I said, that's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Chuck's.
And they gotta be in the city, right?
On a side note,
Yes.
having the meeting this day, Marshall, he's with the NCA and he's their treasurer, so he probably will not be getting these meetings on this time, 'cause it conflicts with NCA's meetings. Just to let you know.
Do they meet every month?
Yeah.
Do they?
We might have to go back to early morning meetings again, Mayor.
Sorry, Marshall, yeah, he's the treasurer, so he has to be on their board.
No, I mean, moving on, is it, so what do we meet, the third
Third
Wednesday of the
Wednesday.
month?
Yeah.
So his meeting's third Wednesday of every month, so could we make it the fourth Wednesday of every month?
It used to be the fourth Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Just move it out a week, I mean, is that,
There was some.
and we can't start with next
Wasn't there?
meeting.
I don't
because
think
we want
they
to
want to
be
do
in
it the week
advance of the
before we
fourth.
kind of get this stuff.
I don't know.
Does it matter what, Wednesday of the month it is, does it have to be the third?
There was a thing that had to do with the loan committee or something.
We just can't do it sooner because of getting all of the financial documents ready. We couldn't do it sooner than the third, but week of the month.
So do the fourth Wednesday.
Investments.
I mean, I don't know, is everybody go with fourth Wednesday?
We have to do a survey to see if anybody
Yeah.
has conflicts during that time.
We'll make sure. Marshall answers this.
I will make sure.
But I can send that out. See if it works.
Is it still at 11 or are we?
Let's do 7:30 in the morning.
That might be a little rough for me, but.
11's fine, I mean, 11's fine. Get out of it.
9. 9's good.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Okay, in that case, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye. Well, I like the 11 o'clock meetings, they go